Infrastructure as code. So you can define it different ways. People define it different ways. I think it's basically about the idea that the way you manage your infrastructure, you define it, is kind of in files that you can manage and treat like source code. And so this is the idea that these things are external to the tool itself. You can put them in a source control system. You can use any text editor. You can use any kind of tools that manage and interact with text files to do cool and interesting stuff. And then that enables you to do things like take software engineering practices. So things like test-driven development, continuous integration, continuous delivery. You can start using these techniques for your infrastructure. So that's kind of my basic definition of it. Without infrastructure as code, what you often find is that, especially for a system of any significant size, you end up with lots of different things and lots of different versions of things running. So if you're looking like patch levels and so on, you might have all kinds of different versions of, say, Java running across your different systems. And then when there's a security vulnerability is published, how do you roll out the patches? With infrastructure as code, it makes it very simple to roll out patches and keep everything at a consistent level. Without that, you tend to have a little bit more of a chaotic environment. And then it can be difficult where you're like deploying an application and it works in one environment and not another environment because there are differences. And it's hard to kind of understand what those differences are because you have to maybe run some tools to try to analyze what's on, what versions of different things are on there. But with infrastructure as code, you're not trying to kind of reverse engineer or understand what ended up somehow onto each system. You're actually saying this is how the system is built, and because it's built from that code, so there is no difference.